On Maruti Suzuki presents ESPN Cricinfo T20 timeout powered by Intel. We're looking ahead to the game between Rajasthan Royals and the Kolkata Knight Riders. Joining me shortly, Dale Steyn and Ajit Agarkar.
We call it people technology.
Intel 入ってる。
Right, both these teams coming off losses in their last games. The win is much needed for both the Royals and the Knight Riders. Let's start up with a point on Sunil Narine. Ajit, should Kolkata consider him as an opening bat?
Not yet. I mean, they've got two really good players. He can be the floater, which he always is for them. I mean, Shubman Gill, okay, he needs to get more runs. He looked good in that one game in Chennai. Has missed out otherwise, but he's a terrific player and he is your future. So if you're going to give up on somebody after 4 games, you're never going to help your team. Nitish Rana's had a decent tournament so far, so I don't see why they should change it. He's always an option, but at this stage, in my opinion, at least if he's the floater, is better for Kolkata. It's just that they need to start playing better as a team, not just replace 1 or 2 guys at the top. I think it's collectively as a team, they haven't been playing well enough.
Well, Dale, their team tends to be this perception around Narine, the opener, that there's a nothing to lose sort of call. If you put him up and he fails, it's no big deal. It just lengthens your batting order. They used him at 5 last time round. What do you think they should do with him?
I think that their batting is fine. The order that they've got right now, Nitish, Rana, and Gill, they've actually done okay. They haven't done badly, and let them go. You know, I think that's what they paid to do. They paid to open the batting. Let them open the batting, and they collectively they need to be better as a team. If you want to put him in number 3, if they lose a wicket early in like the first over to go out there and have a go, that's fine. Then he can float around there. But right now, I don't mind their batting order. I think they just need to start to gel a little bit better and need to put on runs on the board.
Now, speaking of runs on the board, Rajasthan Royals need some, and they're looking at Jos Buttler. Dale scores of 20 to 25 to 49 in 8. We're saying Buttler should perhaps consider playing the anchor role for this Rajasthan batting lineup. What
they need is they need him to bat a little bit longer than he's batting for, and they need him to contribute more runs. That's the situation they're sitting in. How he does that, he just needs to bat a little bit longer. So maybe if he takes one game where he's going to go, okay, cool, I'm going to play the anchor role over here, he could find himself a little bit of form, because when Butler's on. He's really good, and he's kind of like the AB de Villiers for England cricket, really. He's that good. So they can't afford to drop him or anything like that, and I wouldn't drop him, but he certainly needs to get going. Otherwise, if he doesn't score any more runs, Rajasthan are going to struggle.
Yeah, the key is what Dale said, Ajit, that he needs to bat longer. It looks like there's a bigger reliance on Buttler when there's his opening partner, Manan Vohra's not in form, Samson's hot and cold. Should Buttler try a different approach to be more effective?
I think Dale said everything I wanted to. I mean, he's like a bit Villiers. I think his anchor innings is also scoring quickly. I don't think, and he does it. It comes naturally to him. So I can't imagine him trying to bat the 20 overs. If he does, Rajasthan's going to score a lot of runs. So, I mean, they'd be hoping that he bats 20 overs. He got that 49, looked good against Chennai. RCB bowled really well to him. Siraj in particular didn't let him get off. So you accept that at times. Started the tournament in the middle order and then has come to open, which in my opinion is the right spot for him. So no, I don't think he needs to play differently. He just, like Dale said, he needs to bat a bit longer.
But do they need more out of Chris Morris, the bowler, especially at the Wankhede?
Yeah, I think if Chris was going to bowl well at one particular ground, it was going to be the Wankhede. There's a little bit of swing sometimes. There is a little bit of bounce. We know it's a high-scoring ground, though. We do know that. But I know that when I've played with Chris there and I've seen him play there for South Africa, he's actually bowled really well there because he does extract a little bit of bounce out of that wicket. He does get a little bit more than most bowlers would, especially at that ground. So they would have been hoping for a little bit more from him, especially what he did for RCB last year with the ball. He was amazing. You know, like, let's not even talk about the price tag. Let's just talk about his skill. Like, he is that good. But we'll see. Maybe when they move over to other wickets and it's a little bit slower, he might get a little bit more confident because the run rates might come down. But yeah, they'll be dependent on him to do well for them.
Morris has got 5 wickets in 4 games, but tends to also go hot and cold at times.
At the moment, for whatever reason, could be lack of rhythm, could be lack of confidence, one or the other. He doesn't seem himself. I don't think he's bowled as well as he can, because he's one of those guys who can be your strike bowler. You know, that kind of pace, bounce. If he bowls well, he'll pick wickets.
For the Knight Riders, it looked like a big innings personally for Andre Russell to start feeling good about his batting again. Should Kolkata cash in on that, Ajit, and make him bat higher? He batted 7 in the last game.
Yeah, for sure. I think I don't know what higher means. It could on a day be 3, 4, 5, 6, wherever it is. I mean, depending on the situation, but you've got to make more use of him. I mean, yes, he comes towards the latter part of the innings and does what he can do, but that doesn't mean he can't do it, in the middle of the innings or maybe even early in the innings on a particular day, especially when some of their other batsmen don't seem to be in that great a nick. So, Wankhede is a great venue to actually make even more use of him.
Okay, let's look at the last game. Dale, you made the point. Sometimes teams don't want someone like Andre Russell coming in with too many overs to spare. But instead of him coming at 30 for 5, why not getting him at 20 for 2 and have him do that job that Ajit mentions a little earlier with more batting left?
We saw what Russell could do the other day, especially at a ground like Wankhede. When he gets going, wow! I mean, he's just so difficult to stop. Pat Cummins, who's not known for his batting but can hit a long ball, was also phenomenal. But are we going to say use Pat earlier? Probably not. But Russell, on the other hand, who we've seen do this for season after season, we want to see him do this more regular and for a little bit longer of a period. So yeah, get him in as early as you possibly can. I wouldn't say in the sixth over, but smartly you can get him in earlier.
All right, thank you very much, Dale Steyn, Ajit Agarkar. This was our preview to the game between Rajasthan and Kolkata on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricinfo T20 Timeout, powered by Intel.
We call it people technology.
インテル入ってる